Coffee Talk. I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba. This is our Cultural Variety Podcast. Stay tuned. Peace, 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 peace. And welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast Show. And I'm your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba. And this is our Cultural Variety Podcast Show. How y'all doing? Give me a moment. It's Tuesday. We here on a Tuesday. Yeah, we don't usually pop up on Tuesdays, but hey, it's always good to pop up whenever we can to give our viewers and our supporters as much content and as much as flavor as possible. Because, you know, here at Coffee Talk Podcast, we like to give you the flavor. And it's always a beautiful week when we can add an extra day in our schedules, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if this is your first time ever appearing at Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast Show, we appear 3 days a week, and we have an alternate Sunday, Monday night, which we call Cultural Studies Night. So we did have a show yesterday. What's today? Tuesday? Yeah, yesterday. So if you definitely want to check out that episode, go back into our archives, check it out. We're on YouTube, and we're also on Facebook Live. But I want to just continue to say, Sunday and Mondays is our Cultural Studies Night, and we like to give props to our doctors, our lawyers, our scholars, our poets, our people, you know what I'm saying? Our culture, because it's so big. So we love to just do what we do during Sunday and Monday alternate nights. Wednesdays is our sports night, and we don't really care about who won or lost a game. We like to give you the different intricacies that goes on behind the scene in the world of sports. And then Friday and Saturday, man, come on through, let your hair down, as some people would say back in the days of Hollyweird. Let your hair down. Come on in, let your hair down, relax. It's been a long week. Join us for a grown folks social hour. And that's where we just like to have fun, play 10-question Q&A, have guests on the show, just have fun, give you humor, laughter, and just have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Just be a little loose, as we are going to be tonight, which is Tuesday. The extra night. So this is Coffee Talk Podcast. Hope I didn't bore you. Hope I didn't rock you to sleep. You know, y'all's attention spans be 20 seconds. Shame on me. I don't like to use the word hope. But anyway. All right. So this is Coffee Talk Podcast, man. And before we start the show, we never start the show without giving you its flavor as well as its wise words. Tonight, we got a great show in store. We're going to talk about that incident in Cook County down in Chicago where a young 14-year-old had to save his mother's life. So we'll definitely talk a little bit more about that as we get into the show tonight. And we're also going to go ahead and just talk about some entertainment. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about Cardi being offset. We're also going to talk about Remy Mom Papoose. And so, you know, let's make it a teachable moment. No doubt. Well, it is a teachable moment, right? That's what we love to do here at Coffee Talk Podcast. So you with me? Let me know you with me. If you're with me, go ahead and leave a comment. Hit the like button. Call your friends. Let them know that we here tonight, live Tuesday, June 27th. Giving you an extra day in the Coffee Talk schedule. We are here. And you know what? It's like I like to say, we unscripted tonight. But let's go ahead and dive right on in with what's the flavor. So tonight's flavor is this. Quench your thirst, whatever you sipping on, but just make sure that it's refueling. So if you're drinking some water, some wine, a smoothie, a cappuccino, whatever you do, just make sure it's refueling. Just make sure that it's giving you that energy that you need. Because sometimes we can be, our power starts to drain when we give so much to the world. So just make sure whatever you sipping on, you refueling your body. Yeah, that's right. Refueling your body. You follow me? That's the flavor today. Coffee Talk Podcast. You know I had to use the big word. What you talking about? Refueling? Huh? Y'all know I got a big vocabulary. Hey man, it is what it is. Coffee Talk Podcast. You know it. You know it. All right, so listen, let's go ahead and talk about I don't even like to use the word cheating because I don't view cheating the way the standard narrative is. You know what I'm saying? But for this instance, let's go ahead and use it because I know y'all like to use that weird ass word. But and we'll talk about that some other show. However, Cardi B and Offset's in the news. Wait a minute. I'm getting something. Okay. They just let me know that we didn't give the wise words yet. So thank you for that. Thank you for letting me know we didn't throw the wise words in there. We just did the flavor. Well, I do apologize for that. All right. So the wise words for tonight. The wise words for tonight here at Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast show, is from no other than myself. And I chose these wise words because it got something to do with the Cardi B Offset situation, as well as the Remy Ma Papoose situation, right? So these are the wise words I want to share. And then we're going to talk more about it, though. Here's the wise words. A woman's available until she chooses not to be. A woman is available until she chooses not to be. Remember that, young men. We're going to definitely, that's going to come back up in the show as we get ready to discuss, Cardi B and Offset. So let's go ahead and do that. So allegedly, Offset comes out this past week and he says, look, my girl's been cheating on me. Now, before I go into what my thoughts are on both relationships, I just want to say this. Coffee Talk Podcast is a positive brand. We are here for hip hop. We are here for the intellectuals. So we are sending out the positive energy to the relationships of Cardi B and Offset, as well as Remy Ma and Papoose. In no way, in no regards are we trying to make fun of the situation. But we do build off of the situation, being that it's out in public, and that's part of what we're doing here at Coffee Talk Podcast. But big ups to both of y'all, and may y'all heal whatever trauma it is that's affecting y'all's relationship and what y'all's going through right now. So that's what we do here at Coffee Talk Podcast. You see, I got the big Twin Cities on. You know I represent. That true civilization. True and civilized. All right. So Offset comes out. He says his girl's been cheating on him. My first thoughts was when I heard it, I was like, okay, but I mean, what type of dude is going to just come out and say that, I think that's something that's in-house between you and your woman. Now, I get it. Y'all celebrities. Y'all like that camera shit and to give people, the masses, some news, and that builds ratings and shit for those corporations, as well as keep people distracted. But I thought he could have kept that shit in-house. It makes me wonder, was you doing that shit so that can prep for, I got to get her back. I got to get her back for her cheating on me. You know what I'm saying? And so my whole thought process is this. Getting each other back, what kind of relationship would that be? Is that a relationship? if you have to get somebody back, that means you hold a vengeance in your heart. No, I'm not asking you to forgive. You forgive at your own time. I'm not the ruler of that. But to carry vengeance because you want to strike back at the person over relationship things. I'm not talking about things such as where it really gets serious as far as life and things like that. But I'm just talking about to get back of, because someone cheated. Oh, I got to get them back. I got to go sleep with another because they slept with this person. They slept with that person. I got to get them back. So it becomes like a tennis match and shit. And y'all volleying. You know what I mean? You ever heard of that word, volleying? You're volleying the ball. You're hitting the ball back and forth. See who can get the best swing, And yeah, I'm using a tennis analogy. I know. But y'all get the point. That get back. I got to get him back. I got to get him back. If you got to get people back at any time in any type of relationship, then what are y'all doing together? It seems like you trying to hold each other hostage to share in the misery of each other's pain. And so you carry that bullshit that I got to get back. I got to get back. A lot of people have made mistakes in relationships trying to do the get back. That's when you start to have unwanted children, all kind of shit. And I got to say it like that because we real in our communities. This is what happens in our communities. This is what happens in the colony of men. Care where you at. The get back game. Or she becomes pregnant by a dude that she didn't want to have a baby by. Her and her man split up for only a week. But now she done got pregnant. But she still wants her man, and now they got to deal with that, or he got to make a decision. It's interesting. So I watched from afar, as you all are. Excuse me. And let me ask y'all a question. Do you blame Cardi B at all? Do you feel that she had a right to cheat on her man, being that, allegedly he's cheated in the past? What's y'all's thoughts on that? Y'all know it's a Tuesday night because really this ain't something I even enjoy talking about. But we're going to break it down to what it looks like, what it smells like, and how it's a distraction. But let me know what your thoughts are. I believe we're living in a time where TV programming, social media, the big corporations is vicariously influencing you, women, to have as many men as you want. They want to encourage you to be a man, to think as a man, to fill yourself up with the testosterone. Just like the book by Steve Harvey. Think like a man. Think like a man. So we're living in that era. So Cardi B goes and allegedly cheats on her guy. She a pretty motherfucker, man. How do you think his Offset should take it? Let's ask that question here at Coffee Talk tonight. Leave a comment. I'm talking right to y'all. If you're vibing with me, let me know. Hit the like button. So what do you think, or how do you feel Offset should feel. Do you think it was foolish of him to announce to the world that his girl was cheating on him? What's your thoughts on that? Do you think it should have been kept more in-house? It's interesting to me how the Cardi B Offset cheating scandal and the Remy Ma Papoose cheating scandal is both coming out at the same time. Is it a coincidence? Who knows? But however, it seems to popularize the fact that the forget him girl, go cheat on him girl, go cheat on him girl. Now, in one setting, you have a married woman, Cardi B, cheating on her man because he allegedly got caught up cheating on her. And then you have another scenario that's being presented where you have this brother, peace to Papoose. But the narrative is you have this brother that's been down for the woman from the beginning, Remy Ma, even through her incarceration. How many years did Remy do? Somebody leave it in the comment, let us know here at Coffee Talk Podcast. But I want to say, well, Remy did what, 3? 4? No more than 5, but she did a little pretty long bid for a female. Somebody let me know how many years Remy did. But the way the situation looks is Papoose is a brother that was down for his lady through her incarceration. And he loved her so much, he said, I just want to have a baby, because, just saying that he did love her as well. He does love his wife as well. But one of his rewards for staying down with his queen so long was she was to give him a baby. I remember they said that. And they got married, blah, 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 and they got a beautiful child. Where am I going with this? I want to say this. The reason why there's so many issues amongst the relationships is because you're trying to live out a relationship dynamic that came from another culture, another race, however you want to verb that. I'm responsible for what I say. I'm not responsible for how you perceive what I'm saying. It just don't work. This country is the highest divorced rate country. And although there are more black fathers being fathers, in the past 40 years, they start to separate the fathers in the homes and through everything, even through TV, because TV is what they use to feed you on what is what, or on what should be what. But they have the narrative that the man was there for his woman and his woman cheated. Allegedly. Allegedly, they say that Papoose got so frustrated he went and beat up the dude. I don't know what that solves. So you let me know, leave a comment as we continue to talk about this. But what does that solve, gentlemen? Have any of you ever been cheated on? That's the word we're using. Some of y'all that know me personally know I got a different definition of what cheating is. I have a hard time with European laws and dynamics of our what we consider relationships. The monogamy thing, it's weird to me. But let me know what your thoughts are. What's your thoughts? Where do they go from here? Where do they go from here? Have you ever had your girl cheat on you? How did you accept it? What made you stay? What made you say, I can't deal with it and moved on? Leave a comment. Let me know you're here. Hit the like button. Share the video. It's Coffee Talk Podcast. Yeah, so we wanted to discuss that tonight because that's the topic that's going on the wire right now, is that, Remy Ma allegedly cheated on Papoose. Those people have a relationship and they have their own personal things going on. But I wanted to use that first part of the segment just to ask, men and women their thoughts on it. Can people be together a long period of time and not deal with issues, but continue to be together just in the sense of being together? Is that right for either party? Leave a comment. Let me know. Hit the like button. Also, is it right for a man to have to stay committed and he's not getting his needs met? Everything starts with the man. Part of the problem with our society right now is that people are fighting that, and they were taught by the wrong people. And so you see it, it's evident, but we overlook it anyway, that relationships don't work because it was built on the pretense of Europeans guiding you through television, through all these things. And I get it. Some people always want to use this excuse. Oh, my grandparents. Your ass probably was a kid when your grandparents was together. Your young ass didn't even have the critical thinking process to even know what you was looking at, to even present that question, to find out what those two people was going through, or what those two had to overcome, or the adversities just to remain together. They say a lot of our kids are out here in the streets and not knowing, especially our males, not having no father figures around. And they say some of the ways to combat that is that's why, a lot of people has been talking about polygamy in the social world, as it gets popular each and every year. But let's go back to Remy and Papoose, because that's what we want to stay on. What do you think of Remy's career? Where do you rank her as far as women lyricists? Is she in your top 5? Go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know. Let us know what your thoughts are on Remy. Do you think Remy, do you fault Remy for cheating on Papoose? Go ahead and leave a comment. And again, this show, Coffee Talk Podcast, is not drama driven. We're just talking about it in teachable moments, but we must say that we pay our respect to both of them and we support both of them. And we're only discussing it on this Tuesday night, because Tuesday night is like grown folk social hour for us, which we do on Friday and Saturday nights. So we here tonight talking about it, but let me know what your thoughts are. Should Papoose move on? Should Papoose overlook the fact that his wife cheated on him, or allegedly? Has their time passed? Is it time for him to move on, or is it time for him to add a second wife? Is Remy down for that? Would you be down for that? Go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know. All right. So this is Coffee Talk Podcast. I want to go ahead and tell you that we're going to go ahead and take a 30-second commercial break. That's right, a 30-second commercial break. We're going to go ahead and get ready to talk about an issue that you all may have seen on MSN, CNN, all those media outlets, as well as other podcasts, as well as other news, whatever. But the issue that took place in Cook County, where a 14-year-old had to save his mother's life. So with that being said, man, give me 30 seconds and I'll be right back with y'all. It's Coffee Talk Podcast, the cultural variety podcast show. I'll see you in 30 seconds. Peace, 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 peace. And welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast, the cultural variety podcast show. And I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba. And this is our cultural variety podcast show, Tuesday night edition. No doubt, no doubt. So if you're just tuning in, we're just not going to talk about our thoughts and asking for your opinions and your thoughts on Remy Ma and Papoose. We also was discussing a little bit about Cardi B and Offset, the cheating allegations. Go ahead and leave us your thoughts. Let us know what it's like, what you think, what your thoughts are. Leave it in the comments, no doubt. Now, I want to go ahead and jump right off into a serious, a serious question of a serious situation. There was an incident in Cook County in Chicago where a young lady by the name of Carlicia Hood was in a takeout waiting for some food. And she was standing next to a gentleman by the name of Jeremy Brown, age 32. Jeremy Brown was seen on video threatening Miss Carlicia Hood. I don't know what started it, but there is footage out there from Carlicia's sister, who also was in the restaurant at the time waiting for the food as well. What they do have on tape, they have all of it on tape. I seen it. It's out there. The young man, Jeremy Brown, states to Carlicia Hood, he says this, you say one more thing and I will knock you out. You say one more thing and I'm going to knock you out. That's what that man said. Reports indicate that she was texting her son, her 14-year-old son, outside, asking him to bring her gun. We're in Chicago. Still one of the murderous capitals in the country. Factually speaking. Carlisha Woods begins to get assaulted by Jeremy Brown, who continuously punches this woman. Her son enters the diner or the takeout, fumbles the gun a little bit, and I'm sure it was because he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Got the gun out, shoots this brother in his back. His brother beating up his mother. The brother Jeremy Brown runs from the takeout, diner, restaurant, whatever you want to call it. It sells food. Takes off. The 14-year-old goes outside and shoots him again multiple times, killing him. I want to talk about this, y'all. One reason I want to talk about it because I am a firm believer in our constitutional rights. Let's just say that off tops. I'm a firm believer in the right to bear arms. I am. In this country, everybody should have the right to carry if you're law abiding. The kid is protecting his mother. And I wanted to talk about this because you know how our people are. Our people always got to prepare for an excuse. It's so bad because it was handed down. That mentality was handed down because the majority of our people didn't grow up in a home of a father and a mother, so they don't have that natural balance. They came from a single parent. And so instead of being accountable, we always have some type of excuses about everything. Well, I wouldn't have did it if this wouldn't have happened, or this happened, and that's why I did it. Or, you know, the same as the situation with Cardi B and Offset that we were speaking about in the earlier segment. We got to keep an excuse for everything that we do, and we're so childlike about it. You act like if you can't be truthful and stand up and be a stand-up person, you know you gotta lie to do that, or you would get a whooping or some sort. I'm just using that analogy because so many people be on bullshit. Instead of just dealing with, yo, man, that's factual with what you're saying, they would come with excuses. The first excuse I heard was, man, that young man has probably some kids and he's the son of some mother. And man, it ain't right that what happened to him. It ain't right what happened to him. And I'm going to say this 3 times. I wouldn't wish death on nobody. I wouldn't wish death on nobody. I wouldn't wish death on nobody. But what I want to talk about here is that because we have so many excuses, I'm starting to take note of people using mental illness as excuses. So mental illness can give you a pass. And yeah, I respect people that are going through mental illness situations. But that does not constitute choice. You have a choice. Whatever you're going through, I don't want to hear it. I don't want no excuse. You have a choice. Whatever you're going through or whatever you plan to do every day that you are breathing and walking on this earth. And yo, I don't wish death on nobody. Well, maybe it was just Jerome's day. Because he was breaking a universal law. Not the law of the police. Not the law of the Supreme Court. He was breaking a universal law. What's that law? You don't beat on no woman. You don't beat on no woman. You don't beat on no woman. If you've had an encounter in the past, whatever, you get over that, whatever, y'all do whatever. But you don't do that. That has to be so long ago. It shouldn't even have never happened. But I'm just saying that for the brothers out there, because I know the situation with relationships. You don't put your hands on no woman. So you mean to tell me, and this is a universal law, that you get to beat up on my mother who gave me life, and you're asking the child that he doesn't have a choice to defend his mother because of your mental illness, because of your ignorance. No, I don't wish death on nobody. But I tell you, I told a lot of people, and a lot of other people are in agreement. If they was in that situation, they would have did the same thing. It's unfortunate. But as a man, you are to protect your mother. As a man, you are to protect your wife. As a man, you are to protect your children. This is universal law. Again, not police law, not Supreme Court law, not going to ask another motherfucker what they think is law. It's universal law. Tonight, I want to read to you a short, quick paragraph. It's probably 30 seconds to 45 seconds tops. It is called The Law, chapter 16 of a book by author Stramel Allah. The book is entitled The Righteous Way. I don't know if you can see it because of the camera, lighting and stuff. But the beginning, the intro of the book, there is a wise word piece that I like to call it, or a quote, I should say, from John Selden, who is an English antiquarian and jurist. John Selden stated back, John Selden actually lived, from 1584 to 1654. John Selden stated this about law. He says, ignorance of the law excuses no man. Ignorance of the law excuses no man. Not that all men know the law, but because it's an excuse, every man will plead, and no man can tell how to refute him. I'm going to read it one more time. Antiquarian and jurist John Selden said, ignorance of the law excuses no man. Not that all men know the law, but because it's an excuse, every man will plead, and no man can tell how to refute him. So it says this when we enter this paragraph, it says, as aptly stated above, ignorance of the law is no excuse. We must know our rights, whether we will believe we have rights or not, whether we believe we are American or not, and whether we believe the law applies to us or not. How can anyone be right and exact and not know their rights? How do you know if you are right or not? We must neither be illiterate nor ignorant of the law as it is applied to us and the manner in which we live, our culture. A truly righteous person stands for freedom, justice, and equality from the perspective of our lessons. The earth belongs to God. He is the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth. Therefore, geography, where a God is or what led them to a particular place, does not disqualify a person's divine nature. Some people receive the knowledge of Allah's teachings while incarcerated. It is also historical and a legal fact that the black men, whether innocent until proven guilty or guilty until proven innocent, have always been subject to the laws of this country. So it is wise for us to know the law as it pertains to us. The first thing that should be understood by all is that every man, woman, and child has a human right to embrace who or what is divine in relation to themselves. Law is universal. You can't go and touch a man's child. People will kill you for that. In some cases, you can't go and sneak with people's wives. I've seen a lot of stories of men snapping out and killing the wife and the guy. These are just universal laws. You can't go and smack somebody's mother and think there's no repercussion behind that. There's just certain laws that every culture knows. Italians, our people, all kinds of people all over the world. There's minimal strife. There's things people do that are stupid, and they pay the price whether they're caught or not caught. But a universal law is not a police law. It's not the Supreme Court law. It's a universal law. There are some things in this world, such as kidnapping and harming the kids or any of that shit, where you have to pay, unfortunately, through whatever divine judgment that comes forth in your ignorance and excuse for breaking universal law. Again, we don't wish death on nobody here at Coffee Talk Podcast. And our hearts go out to that young man, Jeremy Brown. Our hearts go out to the fact of if he has kids. Our hearts go out to their family, his mother, his brothers, his sisters, his father, whatever. Our hearts go out. This has been a deep subject. Let us know what your thoughts are on this subject. Was it right for the 14-year-old to protect his mother? Leave a comment. Should they have let him go once he escaped outside after being shot one time? Remember, this is Chicago. Remember, sometimes people like to give to get back to get back. Let us know. Leave a comment. When you're there, hit the like button, share the video. Let us know what time it is. We appreciate you all. This is Coffee Talk Podcast, the Tuesday night episode. You know what I'm saying? The extra day. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and hit you with the universal peace sign. Thank you for tuning in to Coffee Talk Podcast. We will be checking you out Wednesday for Wednesday Night Sports. Thank you again for supporting our show, Coffee Talk Podcast, the cultural variety podcast show.